To all units, proceed to your post assignments. All units, proceed to your post assignments.
All right, I have a thought about how to balance two competing considerations. I want to see if you guys agree with me. On one hand, we have the masks, and that's upsetting people. My feeling is that the masks aren't really a problem in and of themselves. What matters is being able to hold the officers accountable if they act unlawfully. So it seems to me that we should just let them wear the mask, not complain, because they have a pretty good reason. They're getting doxxed and harassed, and so are their families.
Right.
And that's the reason for it. That's a pretty good reason, I think. But on the other hand, there should be a way to hold them accountable. So my thought is, I don't know if they're always wearing badges or not, but even if they are, it seems kind of small. What if they had badge ID numbers of some sort that was just larger so that we could be sure there's a way to hold them accountable? What do you guys think about it?
Well, and in fact, we had a federal judge demand that of some of these ICE operations in an earlier proceeding. The trouble with that is, and again, I'll defer to Greg, given his law enforcement expertise, but I can foresee easy problems with that. One is, if the officer uses the same number every time, he becomes identifiable to the mob as someone they want to target in particular. It's that guy. It's number 119. We got to make sure we take care of number 119. No officer wants to be able to be targeted like that. And if they're going to randomize the numbers each time they go out, the logistics burden of doing that and actually being able to keep track of everyone's number on all the body-worn cameras all the time, and then be able to prove that in federal court, nobody wants to deal with that headache. So I think it's either too dangerous to do that or it's impractical to do that.
All right, I have a response, but let me ask Greg, what do you think?
No, I mean, Andrew brought up a point that I didn't really consider, but I mean...
Which is what? Which one?
That you don't want to have someone being profiled off of their ID number. But, I mean, of course, when I worked, it was a friendlier time toward law enforcement. But I mean, we had our name tag and our badge number always on our outer garment, whether it was our jacket or our shirt or whatever. So we didn't have any anonymity whatsoever. So I don't think it might be unreasonable to split the to split the baby in two and say, well, you are going to put your number out on there, not your name. But your number's your number now.
Right.
I mean,
yeah, that's my response.
Badge numbers that stayed with us our entire career. So I was 166 when I started and when I left, and so that was how I was identified.
Yeah. So remember, I framed it as striking a balance between the competing considerations. Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay, maybe they'll target them if they know the number, but that's not quite the same thing as actually being able to identify them and find out where they live and harassing their family and so forth. I don't know that too much could be found out just by their number, unless they have some inside information from ICE itself. That would be telling.
No, I don't mean they would go to the person's home. They'll target him at these ICE officers are on the street every day. Yeah. So if they peppers, like we had just with this event, there was one scene where a protester grabbed an officer's less lethal weapon, and the officer pulls back and puts a powder ball right in the guy's face. Right, it was very funny to watch. But he's famous now. That cop is famous now to these protesters, and if they want to target someone with specificity, it'll be that guy. If they knew his number, they would target him with specificity. Where the brick's going to be going, they're going to be going at that guy. And if I were the officer, it's different when you're an officer with a badge and you're not being engaged by a well-funded, widespread insurgency against federal authority, which is what's happening here. Yeah. These ICE officers are not dealing with random suspects on a one-on-one basis out on the street. These are organized attacks that go on for weeks and weeks. The same protesters, the same ICE officers, they get to know each other just like you would know people you worked with for weeks.